Nintendo consoles are always unique in the world of video games, often eschewing popular convention and tradition in order to innovate and bring entirely new experiences to market. Accordingly, stock is always a concern with new Nintendo consoles, and this is much, much worse when it comes to rare and special edition versions of Nintendo consoles. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the coolest, most interesting, and hardest to find Nintendo consoles over the years. This isn't a definitive list of the absolutely most difficult to find consoles because there are any number of very limited releases dropped at special events or as part of the PR cycle of a video game's development, but we're going to look at consoles you probably haven't heard of and that you probably wouldn't be able to get your hands on anytime soon. With that said, buckle up and let's jump into the weird world of Nintendo consoles. Number 1. Nintendo PlayStation. Your mind isn't playing tricks on you. This is the Nintendo PlayStation. If you hadn't heard, once upon a time there was a little Japanese greeting card company named Nintendo. Eventually they decided to make video games, yada yada, and then a tape recorder company called Sony decided they too wanted to make video games. So they asked Nintendo to team up with them. Sony was going to bring the cool new compact disc to the party, while Nintendo already had an established brand in the gaming industry Sony could attach themselves to. Spoiler warning, this didn't work out. But it went far enough to produce some prototype versions of what a Nintendo PlayStation would look like. And these cartridge compact disc hybrid relics of the 90s sell today for tens of thousands of dollars. Best start saving now if you really want your media center to pop. And maybe, just maybe, if a collector is looking to part with what some call the world's rarest console, you'll have your functionless gray plastic and metal box to end all functionless gray plastic and metal boxes. Number 2. Animal Crossing Wild World DS. So, the elephant in the room. Yes, this DS does kind of look like a poorly photoshopped AC Wild World screenshot got pasted onto a DS. Sure, but you have to take into account the sheer, undeniable, and overwhelming prestige that goes into the owner of this DS. Because this DS is the only version of itself in existence and was birthed just to be given away in a contest to design a new AC Wild World character. There is only one, and unlike the Rings of Power, surely nobody can resist the sweet allure of this colorful piece of plastic that reminds you all about the good, pixelated times you had in the sometimes weird, always charming world of Animal Crossing. But if you can, like literally every human in existence minus one sadly has to, resist the temptation, there are more than a few other interesting rare consoles on our list here for you to splurge and treat yourself with. Number 3. Metal Gear Solid 3DS. Metal Gear has had a long history on platforms other than PlayStation, but PlayStation is still the first console most people think of when they think of Metal Gear or Solid Snake. However, there is a custom-designed Nintendo 3DS built and sold alongside Snake Eater. This 3DS, if you can find one, sells for over $400. But if you're lucky enough to snag one, you'll be treated to the iconic, rugged, minimalist Metal Gear look with an all-black textured front plate and similarly simple pitch-black design. The box will even tell you it's a Hideo Kojima game presented by Kojima Productions, so you know you're absolutely getting the full Metal Gear Konami certified experience. As a contrast to the often colorful, saturated looks of Nintendo products, a more militaristic gray device really manages to stand out along Nintendo's larger product line over the years. If you do have the money and love the 3DS catalog, this might actually be worth a look. Number 4. LA Noire Switch. When Rockstar dropped the upgraded version of LA Noire on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, they also decided to celebrate with a custom console giveaway series. There were PCs, Xboxes, and PlayStations on offer, all with the iconic black and gold LA Noire styling. But there was also an LA Noire Switch. This one-of-a-kind Switch doesn't have a price tag or even a value in the open market, because there was only one, and the end of the information about the console on the internet is Rockstar's announcement. If you really want an LA Noire-themed console, we suggest you stick to stickers rather than track down the Rockstar contest winners in your free time. But hey, to each their own. Nonetheless, the Switch itself is beautiful. Another sleek example of a darker tone Nintendo console that really stands out when you consider that most of the other designs are bright and colorful. Number 5. Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch. Animal Crossing New Horizons has swept the world by storm. The latest Animal Crossing game has done numbers that would be impressive for Call of Duty, but has instead done it exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, with a long-running series known for its rather unique approach to gaming and somewhat niche appeal. Suffice it to say, nobody really expected the 2020 of it all to inspire millions of gamers to hop on Animal Crossing. As a result, the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch is near impossible to find. It's certainly tough to find for anywhere near its retail value, and because of the game's enduring popularity, it's likely that prices are not going to come down anytime soon. However, fans of the game will tell you that the console is rather delightfully cute and probably worth whatever the price is. If you want to get into Animal Crossing, which you probably should, it's best to stick with the normal Switch, if you can even find one of those. Number 6. PANASONIC 3DS. Just like the Metal Gear 3DS and the NOIRE Switch managed to shake things up with a distinctive color palette, so too does the PANASONIC 3DS XL. This lovely little gaming machine is blue and purple, bright and vibrant, but still luxurious and rich in a way that's kind of unique in the world of Nintendo consoles. The PANASONIC 3DS also gets the benefit of coming out late into the lifespan of the 3DS, so you can reap the benefit of the XL's larger screen. Even if you aren't a Persona mega fan, this 3DS is far from anime looking and will feel at home with anybody that happens to have over $300 laying around to drop on an outdated portable Nintendo console in a world that has fallen in love with the Switch. It's an incredibly hard to find console, as rare as the Metal Gear 3DS, but if you consult the reviews on Amazon, you'll find nothing but happy customers. Number 7. PANASONIC Q. Way back when in 2001, which was a shocking 19 years ago, Nintendo teamed up with Panasonic to release something different. Much like the Nintendo PlayStation was going to be a hybrid cartridge disc console beefed up by a collaboration with a major player in the CD world, the PANASONIC Q was a hybrid GameCube DVD player beefed up by a collaboration with a major player in the DVD world. The PANASONIC Q did actually manage to come to market though. Unfortunately, nobody really wanted this thing when it came out, so in 2003, a mere 2 years after the product launch, Nintendo discontinued it. However, today, you can still find it online if you look hard enough. And not only will the looking be hard, the purchasing will be pretty tough too. The PANASONIC Q today is going for over $600 used. Number 8. New 3DS XL Pikachu Yellow. There is nothing more Nintendo than Pokemon. And nothing more Pokemon than Pikachu. And nothing more Pikachu than the color yellow. Accordingly, the new Nintendo 3DS XL Pikachu Yellow Edition is a stone cold Nintendo console classic. It's got that bright, colorful Pokemon Pikachu Yellow, which means it's a distinctive device from miles away. Plus, since this version of the 3DS came out very late in the console's lifetime, it got the best refreshes, both the XL's larger screen and the new 3DS's updated hardware. You can even still find this device for sale online without too much hassle, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny, with most going for nearly $300. However, with over 600 ratings on Amazon averaging out to 5 stars, suffice it to say that this 3DS is indeed just as much of a classic as its iconic look would suggest. Number 9. CHARIZARD Game Boy Advance SP. The Game Boy Advance was not a particularly beautiful or elegant device, but the Game Boy Advance SP, though definitely a mouthful, absolutely was beautiful, elegant, and minimalistic. The best Game Boy SP designs highlighted these design choices and leaned heavily on its rather modern, forward-thinking aesthetic. As such, the Pokemon Center limited edition Charizard Game Boy Advance SP is an utter delight. With just a few etchings of the Pokemon on the device, it's mostly a simple red Game Boy, but the artwork really does impress with its high-quality presentation. Many seem to agree, with the only available used versions of this Game Boy selling on eBay for over $600. You are definitely dating yourself by buying an SP in 2020, especially one so rare and valuable. But by now, the Advance has well earned its place in gaming history, and by picking up one of these bad boys, you're certainly owning a part of that. Number 10. McDonald's DSi. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is a McDonald's DSi. And no, it's not some kind of weird branded DSi that Nintendo sold at McDonald's or McDonald's gave away in some competition, styled with Ronald all over it in some sort of glorious red. This is a simple black DSi with a McDonald's M on the front that back in 2010, Nintendo and McDonald's teamed up to distribute across Japan. These DSi's were intended to be training tools for new employees. And these DSi's came packed with instructional videos on how to prepare dishes and complete different tasks expected of employees over the course of a normal workday. While this may not seem like much of an important piece of gaming history, both this DSi and the McDonald's software was sold for over $3,000 when it last appeared online, making this DS one of the rarest, most valuable Nintendo consoles ever. Would you like to get your hands on any of these limited edition and hard-to-find Nintendo consoles? Do you already have the pleasure of owning one? Why not let us know in the comments down below? And for more videos just like this one, make sure to subscribe to us here at TheGamer and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all our latest videos. Thanks for watching.